Ladies and gentlemen, I know you're going through it. Life, it has a way of testing us, pushing us to places where we're not sure we can go any further. But I need you to hear me right now. You have got to keep going. I've been there. You've been there. We all get there at some point. That point where it feels like everything's crumbling, like every step you take is one step further into the dark. It's easy to fall into that trap, to let the weight of the world hold you down, to listen to the voice that says, you can't do it, this isn't worth it, or it's just not your time. Let me tell you something, those are lies. The truth is, every challenge you face, every difficulty, every door that gets slammed in your face is a test of your will, a test of your heart, a test of your soul. And what you do in that moment when everything seems stacked against you, that's when you find out who you really are. That's when you find out what you're made of. And let me be clear, you're made of something strong, something powerful, something that no setback can break. The world, it doesn't owe you anything. Life doesn't owe you a thing, but it will give you exactly what you put into it. It's going to give you those tough times, those battles, those struggles. And you know what? You can't control what life throws at you, but you can control how you respond. You can choose to sit down, give up, and quit. But I'm telling you right now, quitting is not an option. You get up, you stand tall, you fight, you keep going. Look, I'm not going to sugarcoat this for you. There are times when it's going to hurt. There are moments when it feels like you're just not strong enough. You're going to want to walk away, throw in the towel, say that's enough. But when you do that, when you stop, you let the world win. And I know you're better than that. I know you've got more in you. I know you've got that fire in your belly, that hunger that won't let you quit. The only thing standing between you and your goals, your dreams, your success is you. See, in this world, the ones who make it are the ones who refuse to quit. It's not about how many times you fall. It's about how many times you get up. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to take that next step and the next and the next. Each step, no matter how small, is progress. And that's what counts. But I know the doubts. I know the questions. I know the fear that creeps in when things aren't going the way you want them to. When you put everything into something and it doesn't work out the way you imagined. But here's the thing, if you stop now, if you give up, what do you have left? Nothing. But if you keep going, if you push through the pain, the frustration, the exhaustion, you might just find that you're stronger than you ever thought. You might find that the breakthrough you've been waiting for is just around the corner. Success isn't a straight line. It's not a nice, neat little path where everything goes according to plan. No, it's messy, it's hard, it's full of ups and downs, twists and turns, and obstacles that seem insurmountable. But you have got to stay in the fight. You have got to show up day after day, even when you don't feel like it. You can't afford to quit, because quitting means you're letting all that potential, all that power inside of you go to waste. You've heard it before, but let me say it again, the best things in life don't come easy. The people who achieve greatness aren't the ones who took the easy road. They're the ones who faced the challenges head on, who kept pushing when everyone else was telling them to stop. They kept going when the odds were against them. They stayed in the game when others walked away. And that's what it takes. You've got to stay in the game. You've got to keep fighting for what you believe in. There will be days when you feel like you're alone, when you feel like no one understands, but I promise you this, you're not alone. You are never alone. You have everything you need within you to keep moving forward. The strength, the resilience, the heart, it's all in there. But it doesn't happen by accident. You've got to choose it every single day, you. Life will test you and challenges are inevitable. However, the key to overcoming them is not in avoiding struggle, but in pushing forward despite the hardships. You have the strength within you to keep going, even when it seems impossible. Success is not a linear journey. It's about consistent progress, not perfection. Every small step forward, even in the face of setbacks, brings you closer to your goals. Keep moving, no matter how slow it may feel. The path to greatness is filled with obstacles, but the ones who succeed are the ones who stay in the fight. When life gets tough, Don't quit. Keep showing up, working hard, and believing in your ability to push through. You have everything within you to succeed. Your strength, resilience, and potential are far greater than any challenge you may face. Trust yourself, believe in your power, and know that you are never alone in this journey. There comes a time in everyone's life when the road ahead seems unclear, when obstacles pile up, and when it feels like everything is against you. It's during those moments, those tough, exhausting times, that the true test of character begins. The question you must answer is simple, though its implications are enormous. Will you keep going? Perseverance, the ability to push forward, even when the world tells you to stop, is not something you can buy or inherit. It's built. It's forged in the fires of hardship and adversity. It's the result of choosing to stand up time after time, even when your body aches and your mind tells you that you can't take another step. But here's the thing you can take that step. And the next. And the next. Because perseverance isn't about being indestructible or immune to failure. It's about being willing to get back up every time you fall. There are days when life feels like a mountain you cannot climb. You can feel the weight of your burdens pressing down on you, like the world itself is on your shoulders, pushing you into the ground. But let me remind you of something important. That mountain, that weight, it's not going to last forever. The hardships you face now, as overwhelming as they may seem, are temporary. You may not see the end of the struggle right now, but I promise you it's coming. What matters is not how long the struggle lasts, but whether you have the fortitude to endure it. It's about finding the strength to push forward, even when you feel like you're at your breaking point. Perseverance requires an understanding that adversity is a part of the journey, not something that should derail it. So often we expect the road to success to be smooth, to be straightforward, to come with clear signs and perfect conditions. But life doesn't work like that. Life is messy. Life is unpredictable. And that's the beauty of it. The struggle, the fight, the perseverance, it all adds to the story of who you are. Without those moments, without the times you had to dig deep, you wouldn't be the person you are today. There are going to be days when you want to quit. There will be moments when it seems easier to walk away and leave everything behind. But here's where perseverance comes in. It's in those moments that you find out what you're truly made of. When you face adversity, you can either shrink back, letting the weight of it consume you, or you can choose to face it head on and fight your way through it. The choice is yours. And I'm telling you, the people who succeed in life are the ones who choose to face the hard times and push through them. They don't quit when it gets tough. They keep going. Now let's talk about the pain. Because perseverance isn't always pretty. It's not about cruising through life with everything falling into place. No, it's about the moments when you're tired, when you feel like you've given everything you have and still haven't made a dent. It's about showing up even when you don't feel like it. It's about that small voice inside you that tells you, this is tough, but I'm tougher. You might not feel strong. You might not feel ready. You might feel like everything you do is just one step closer to failure. But the truth is, pain isn't a sign that you're weak, it's a sign that you're alive. And it's through that pain, through those uncomfortable moments, that growth happens. Every time you face adversity and choose to move forward, you get stronger. It might not feel like it at first. In fact, it probably won't. You won't always see the progress in real time. And that's okay. What matters is that you keep going. Perseverance is about showing up when no one's looking. It's about working when there's no applause, no recognition, no instant rewards. It's about pushing yourself when it feels like there's no one else left to believe in you. And believe me, I know how easy it is to fall into despair, to look around and think that nothing is ever going to change. But here's a reality check. You're not in control of everything. There are circumstances, there are forces beyond your influence that will come into play. You won't always get the outcome you want right away. But I promise you, if you keep at it, if you keep your head down and continue to move, you will eventually see the results. Perseverance is a long game. And if you're in it for the long haul, you're already ahead of the game. Sometimes we think that our struggles are unique. We think we're the only ones who are facing these challenges, that no one else could possibly understand what we're going through. But I want you to realize something: adversity is universal. Every single person who has ever achieved greatness has faced their own challenges, their own challenges, their own doubts, their own struggles. There's no one who is immune to hardship. But what separates the successful from the rest is the willingness to fight through it. It's important to understand that perseverance isn't about avoiding failure, it's about embracing it. Failure isn't something to fear. It's a lesson. It's a chance to learn, to grow, to adjust your approach. The greatest successes in history came after multiple failures. The key is not to let failure stop you. When you fall, get up. When you stumble, keep moving. Every failure, every mistake is just a stepping stone to something greater. When you're facing adversity, it's easy to let negative thoughts take over. You begin to doubt yourself, to question your worth, to wonder if maybe this path isn't meant for you. That's natural. That's human. But let me remind you, those negative thoughts, those voices that tell you you're not good enough or that you're not cut out for this, they don't have the power unless you give it to them. You've got to fight against those thoughts. You've got to choose to believe in yourself when the world tells you not to. Because the truth is, there's a fire inside you, a strength inside you that you may not even fully understand yet. But if you keep going, if you push through the darkness, that fire will burn brighter than ever. One of the hardest parts of persevering through adversity is the feeling of being alone. When things aren't going well, it can feel like no one is there to help you. No one understands what you're going through. But I want you to remember this: you are never truly alone. Even in your toughest moments, there's a community of people who have gone through the same struggles, who understand the pain, who have walked that path before you. And the best part, you can lean on them. You don't have to do this by yourself. Perseverance isn't about being perfect, it's about being persistent. It's about being willing to fall down, but also being willing to get back up. It's about understanding that setbacks are just part of the process, not the end of the road. And if you keep going, you'll look back one day and realize that everything you went through, the hardships, the pain, the struggle, was worth it. Because it got you to where you are now, stronger, wiser, more prepared for whatever comes next. The bottom line is this: you've got what it takes. The only thing standing between you and your goals is your willingness to keep going, to persevere through the hard times, and to believe that you can make it. So when life gets tough, and it will, don't stop. Don't quit. Keep going. Because on the other side of adversity lies something beautiful. Your dreams, your success, and a strength you never knew you had. There's a misconception in the world, a lie that we often tell ourselves, and it's this: we need to be perfect to succeed. We think that everything must be flawless, that we must have everything figured out before we can take the first step. This need for perfection paralyzes us, keeps us stuck in place, and prevents us from moving forward. But here's the reality: progress, not perfection, is what leads to success. Perfection is an illusion. It's an unattainable ideal that doesn't exist in the real world. Every person who has achieved something meaningful in life, every person who has made a true impact, has faced setbacks, made mistakes, and encountered flaws along the way. The journey is never without its bumps. And the sooner you realize that, the sooner you can free yourself from the pressure to be perfect. You don't need to have everything in place before you begin. What matters is that you start, and then you keep going. It's easy to get caught up in the idea that we need to have everything polished, refined, and perfect before we share it with the world. This mindset holds us back, keeping us from pursuing our passions and sharing our gifts. Because in reality, if you wait for the perfect moment, you'll be waiting forever. There is no perfect time. There is no perfect plan. There's only now. There's only what you can do today in this moment to take that first step toward your goal. You've probably heard the saying, done is better than perfect. That's because perfection doesn't move the needle. Perfection keeps you stagnant. Perfection causes you to doubt yourself, to second guess every decision, every action, every move. But progress is what builds momentum. It's progress that pushes you closer to your goals. It's progress that leads you to success. So instead of focusing on making things perfect, focus on making things better. Focus on growth, on learning, and on improving. Even small steps, when taken consistently, lead to massive changes over time. One of the greatest obstacles we face in life is the fear of failure. We fear that if we try and fall short, we'll be judged, ridiculed, or criticized. This fear holds us back from taking action. But what we don't realize is that failure is an essential part of progress. It's a necessary step on the path to success. Every failure is a lesson. Every mistake is an opportunity to learn, to grow, and to do better the next time. The key isn't to avoid failure, but to embrace it, to learn from it, and to keep moving forward despite it. Think about the people who have achieved great things in life. They didn't get there by waiting for the perfect moment. They didn't get there by worrying about every detail or stressing over every little mistake. No, they got there by taking action, by making progress every day, no matter how small. They took imperfect steps, learned from their mistakes, and kept pushing forward inch by inch toward their goals. They understood that it wasn't perfection that mattered, it was persistence. We live in a world that loves to showcase the highlight reel, the polished versions of other people's lives. Social media, for example, often portrays people as having perfect lives, perfect careers, perfect families. But behind every Instagram post, behind every success story, there are challenges, there are failures, and there are imperfect moments. The people you admire didn't get to where they are by waiting for perfection. They got there by putting in the work, by showing up even when they didn't feel like it, and by embracing the imperfect steps along the way. Now, I know it's hard to let go of the desire for perfection. I know how easy it is to think that if something's not flawless, it's not worth doing. But that mindset will hold you back. Perfectionism doesn't empower you, it paralyzes you. It convinces you that unless everything is just right, you're not worthy of success. But that's simply not true. Success doesn't come to those who wait for the perfect circumstances. It comes to those who take action, who put one foot in front of the other, and who commit to the journey no matter how messy it gets. There's a quote that goes, "The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now." This is a perfect example of what I mean by progress over perfection. You may look back and think, I should have started this years ago. You may think I should have known more. I should have had a better plan, but the truth is the past is gone. You can't change it. What you can do is take action right now. You can make progress today. It doesn't matter if you're starting from scratch. What matters is that you're starting. It doesn't matter if you don't know exactly how everything will unfold. What matters is that you're willing to take that first step, to put yourself out there and try, even if it's imperfect. Let's be honest with ourselves for a moment. Nobody has everything figured out. No one has the perfect blueprint for success. We all have to figure things out as we go. And that's okay. That's how life works. We learn by doing. We learn by making mistakes. We learn by trying and failing and trying again. The more you focus on progress, on improving, growing, and pushing forward, the more you will begin to see results. It's important to remind yourself that your progress doesn't have to look like someone else's. Don't compare your journey to others. We all have our own timelines, our own paths, and our own unique challenges. The only person you need to measure yourself against is the person you were yesterday. Focus on being better than you were before. Focus on getting 1% better each day. That's how progress works. It's not about leaps and bounds, it's about small, consistent steps toward improvement. One of the most powerful things about progress is that it builds confidence. When you focus on making progress, you build momentum. You begin to see that the effort you're putting in is paying off. You start to realize that your actions are leading somewhere. And with every step you take, you grow more confident in your ability to achieve your goals. Confidence isn't something you're born with, it's something you build. And you build it through action, through progress, through the willingness to show up and give your best, even when things aren't perfect. Perfection, on the other hand, keeps you stuck. It keeps you focused on the end result instead of the journey. It convinces you that unless everything is exactly how you envision it, it's not worth doing. But let me tell you, that mindset will only hold you back. The truth is, no one ever reaches the end without making mistakes along the way. No one ever achieves greatness without embracing imperfection. It's the imperfect steps, the failures, and the lessons learned that ultimately lead to success. When you stop striving for perfection and start focusing on progress, you free yourself from the burden of unrealistic expectations. You free yourself from the constant self-criticism, the second-guessing, and the fear of making mistakes. You allow yourself the freedom to grow, to learn, and to become better without the pressure of trying to be flawless at every turn. Progress is the key. Progress is what moves you forward. Progress is what will take you to where you want to go. And remember, you don't have to do everything perfectly. You don't have to have all the answers, all the knowledge, or all the skills. What you do need is the willingness to take action, to keep going, and to trust the process. Trust that each small step, each piece of progress is taking you closer to your goal. Trust that you are capable of more than you think. Trust that imperfection is part of the journey, and that the pursuit of progress is what truly matters. There's something that we all must come to terms with in life: the fight never ends. We might wish that it did wish for smooth sailing, easy paths, and clear skies. But life is a battle, and the only way to move forward is to embrace the fight. Whether it's against your own doubts, the obstacles that get thrown in your path, or the relentless challenges that life has a habit of handing out, you have to fight. And not just fight, but fight with everything you've got. The fight begins the moment you decide to pursue something bigger than yourself. It starts the moment you commit to achieving something that matters to you. But make no mistake, the fight won't be easy. It never is. There will be days when it feels like the world is against you. There will be moments when the weight of your goals feels so heavy you think you won't be able to carry it. But that's where the magic happens. That's when you discover who you truly are. Every person who has ever achieved greatness, who has ever overcome adversity, has had to face the fight. They didn't get to where they are by sitting back and hoping for things to get better. They got there by stepping into the arena, by accepting that life isn't fair and that things won't always go their way. But what they did that made all the difference was that they refused to quit. They didn't back down. They didn't retreat. They stood their ground and embraced the fight, knowing that every battle, no matter how difficult, was just another step closer to their goals. The truth is, when you decide to go after something important, you're going to face resistance. People might doubt you. The circumstances might be tough. You might question yourself along the way. And that's okay. That's part of the fight. The people who succeed are not the ones who never question themselves. They're the ones who question, doubt, and fear, but then choose to fight anyway. They don't let their doubts paralyze them. They use them as fuel to push harder, to work smarter, to stay focused. But let's talk about fear for a moment. Fear is an undeniable part of the fight. No matter how much we wish we could eliminate it, fear is always going to be there. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of not being good enough. Fear can be paralyzing. It can make you question everything you're doing. It can make you feel like it's easier to quit than to keep going. But here's the truth: fear is a natural part of any fight. It's not something to run from, it's something to embrace. You see, fear is the sign that you're doing something that matters. Fear means you're on the edge, stepping outside of your comfort zone, pushing towards something greater. And if you can learn to fight through the fear, if you can look it in the face and keep moving forward, you will find that it's not as powerful as it seems. Fear is not your enemy. It's a signal that you are growing, evolving, and challenging yourself in ways that you never have before. And if you can embrace that, if you can use fear to fuel your determination, you'll be unstoppable. Because fear is only powerful if you allow it to control you. When you choose to fight through it, you take its power away. Fear no longer holds dominion over you. You take control and you move forward. But it's not just about fear. It's about the challenges, the setbacks, and the obstacles that will inevitably come your way. No one's journey is a straight line. There are twists, turns, bumps, and detours. Sometimes you'll feel like you're doing everything right and still not making progress. Sometimes you'll work so hard and yet things just don't seem to go your way. In those moments, it's easy to want to throw in the towel. It's easy to wonder if it's worth it, if the fight is even worth continuing. This is where the real test comes in. This is where the difference between those who succeed and those who give up is made. The ones who succeed are the ones who get back up when they fall. They don't let one failure define them. They don't let one obstacle stop them. They embrace the fight. They see every failure, every setback as an opportunity to learn, to grow, and to become better. They understand that the fight is never about being perfect or never failing. It's about getting back up when you do fall. It's about getting better with every battle you face. There's something powerful that happens when you embrace the fight. It builds resilience. It strengthens your character. It gives you a deeper understanding of your own limits, and then it helps you push beyond them. Every time you face a challenge and push through it, you grow stronger, you learn more about yourself, you discover what you're really capable of. And with every fight you embrace, you become better equipped to handle the next one. When you embrace the fight, you also embrace discomfort. Growth doesn't happen in the comfort zone. You don't get stronger by staying where things are easy. You get stronger by stepping into the unknown, by facing challenges that make you uncomfortable. Discomfort is a sign of growth. It means you're stretching yourself. It means you're doing something that requires more from you than you thought you had. And the more you embrace discomfort, the more you grow, the more you learn, and the closer you get to your goals. But let's not pretend that the fight is always glamorous. It's not. It's not always easy. It's not always fun. There will be days when you question everything. There will be times when you feel like giving up. But those are the moments that matter the most. It's when everything seems impossible that your character is truly tested. It's when the fight feels like it's too much that you have the opportunity to dig deeper, to find that fire inside of you that refuses to be extinguished. You may not feel like you have anything left to give, but I promise you there's always more in you than you think. And that's what makes the fight so powerful. It's not about how many times you get knocked down, it's about how many times you get back up. It's about your refusal to give up. Even when things seem hopeless, because there is no defeat in the fight as long as you keep moving forward. As long as you keep pushing, as long as you refuse to quit, you're winning. And the more you fight, the more you embrace the struggle, the closer you get to what you truly want. The fight is never easy, but it's always worth it. When you face adversity, when you embrace the challenges and keep going despite the hardships, you become stronger, wiser, and more resilient. And what you gain in the process is invaluable. You gain confidence in yourself. You gain a sense of self-belief that can't be shaken. You gain a deeper understanding of what it takes to achieve greatness. Remember, the fight is not a one-time thing. It's ongoing. Life will continue to present challenges, and there will always be something else to fight for. But that's the beauty of it. The fight never stops, and neither should you. Embrace it. Step into it with everything you have. Don't shy away from it. Don't try to avoid it. The fight is where you'll find out who you really are. It's where you'll discover your true strength, your resilience, and your power. So embrace the fight with everything you've got. Because in the end, it's the only thing that will ever bring you the success, the fulfillment, and the peace you're seeking. There are moments in life when everything feels uncertain. The weight of the world seems to rest on your shoulders, and the path ahead is clouded with doubt and fear. You may find yourself questioning your abilities, wondering if you have what it takes to push through the challenges ahead. In those moments, it's easy to look outward for reassurance, to search for validation from others, or to hope for a sign that everything will be okay. But what you need most in those moments isn't external validation, it's a deep, unwavering belief in yourself. It's your inner strength, that quiet, steadfast confidence that comes from knowing who you are, what you stand for, and what you're capable of. Inner strength and self-belief aren't things that you're born with, they are cultivated over time. Forged through experience, struggle, and perseverance. They are not about never feeling doubt, fear, or insecurity. No, they are about finding the courage to move forward in the face of those feelings, to trust in yourself even when the odds are stacked against you. They are about tapping into a deep well of resilience and determination that carries you through when everything else seems to be falling apart. Life will test you. It will challenge you in ways you never imagined. There will be times when you feel like giving up, when the obstacles seem too great, and when it feels easier to walk away than to keep going. But in those moments, your inner strength is what will keep you moving. It's the voice inside your head that says, I will not quit. I will not give up. I am capable of more than I think. It's the belief that no matter how difficult the journey may be, you have what it takes to keep going, one step at a time. Building inner strength doesn't happen overnight. It's a process, a series of small, consistent actions that reinforce your belief in yourself. It's the daily choices you make to show up for yourself, to push through the fear, to stand tall in the face of adversity. It's about being kind to yourself when you fall short and not letting one setback define who you are or how far you've come. You don't build inner strength by avoiding hardship or running from difficulty. You build it by facing those challenges head on, by confronting your fears, and by learning to trust in your own ability to overcome. One of the first steps in cultivating inner strength is learning to believe in yourself. Self-belief is the foundation on which everything else is built. Without it, you'll find it difficult to push forward when things get tough. The world is full of people who will tell you what you can't do. There will be critics, doubters, and naysayers at every turn. But the only opinion that truly matters is your own. When you believe in yourself, when you trust in your own abilities, the opinions of others lose their power. You stop seeking validation from the outside world because you know deep down that you are enough just as you are. Self-belief is not about arrogance or thinking you're better than anyone else. It's about understanding your worth and recognizing that you have something unique to offer. It's about knowing that you are deserving of success, happiness, and fulfillment, and that no one else can define your potential but you. When you believe in yourself, you free yourself from the limitations that others place on you, and you give yourself the permission to pursue your dreams, no matter how big or small they may seem. But believing in yourself isn't always easy. It requires you to quiet the negative voices in your head, to silence the self-doubt, and to trust that you are capable of handling whatever comes your way. You'll face setbacks and you'll make mistakes, but those don't define you. They don't diminish your worth or your potential. What matters is how you respond to those challenges. Do you let them break you down, or do you rise up, learn from them, and continue moving forward? Every time you choose to rise, every time you choose to keep going, you reinforce your belief in yourself. Another key aspect of inner strength is resilience, the ability to bounce back from adversity. Life will knock you down. There's no escaping that. But what defines you is not how many times you fall, but how many times you get back up. Resilience is what allows you to keep going, even when it feels like everything is working against you. It's the ability to adapt, to learn from your experiences, and to keep pushing forward, even when the road ahead is unclear. Resilience is built by facing adversity head on, by challenging yourself to move through the pain and discomfort, and by refusing to let failure dictate your future. It's easy to want to quit when things get hard. It's easy to want to throw in the towel and say, I've had enough, but resilience is the strength to keep going, even when the path forward is uncertain, even when you don't know how things will turn out. It's the faith that no matter how many times you stumble, you have the ability to rise again, stronger and wiser than before. Building resilience also requires you to cultivate patience. We live in a world that is obsessed with instant gratification. We want things to happen quickly, we want results now, and we expect success to come easily. But the truth is, real growth takes time. Success takes time. Building inner strength takes time. It's a long journey, and there will be setbacks along the way. But if you can stay patient, if you can stay committed to the process, then you will eventually see the fruits of your labor. When you embrace patience and resilience, you develop a deeper sense of trust in yourself and in the process. You stop focusing on the destination and start appreciating the journey. You learn to find value in every step, even when the progress seems slow. And in doing so, you build not only your inner strength, but your character as well. Part of the process of building inner strength is also learning to let go of the things that hold you back. Too often, we carry around baggage, negative beliefs, past failures, or toxic relationships that weighs us down and prevents us from moving forward. But to truly embrace your inner strength, you have to let go of those things that no longer serve you. You have to forgive yourself for past mistakes, forgive others who may have wronged you, and release the pain that holds you in place. When you let go of the past, you free yourself to move forward, to grow, and to step into your full potential. Life will test you. It will challenge you in ways you never imagined. There will be times when you feel like giving up, when the obstacles seem too great, and when it feels easier to walk away than to keep going. But in those moments, your inner strength is what will keep you moving. It's the voice inside your head that says, I will not quit. I will not give up. I am capable of more than I think. It's the belief that no matter how difficult the journey may be, you have what it takes to keep going, one step at a time. Building inner strength doesn't happen overnight. It's a process, a series of small, consistent actions that reinforce your belief in yourself. It's the daily choices you make to show up for yourself, to push through the fear, to stand tall in the face of adversity. It's about being kind to yourself when you fall short and not letting one setback define who you are or how far you've come. You don't build inner strength by avoiding hardship or running from difficulty. You build it by facing those challenges head on, by confronting your fears, and by learning to trust in your own ability to overcome. One of the first steps in cultivating inner strength is learning to believe in yourself. Self-belief is the foundation on which everything else is built. Without it, you'll find it difficult to push forward when things get tough. The world is full of people who will tell you what you can't do. There will be critics, doubters, and naysayers at every turn. But the only opinion that truly matters is your own. When you believe in yourself, when you trust in your own abilities, the opinions of others lose their power. You stop seeking validation from the outside world because you know deep down that you are enough, just as you are. Self-belief is not about arrogance or thinking you're better than anyone else. It's about understanding your worth and recognizing that you have something unique to offer. It's about knowing that you are deserving of success, happiness, and fulfillment, and that no one else can define your potential but you. When you believe in yourself, you free yourself from the limitations that others place on you, and you give yourself the permission to pursue your dreams, no matter how big or small they may seem. But believing in yourself isn't always easy. It requires you to quiet the negative voices in your head, to silence the self-doubt, and to trust that you are capable of handling whatever comes your way. You'll face setbacks and you'll make mistakes, but those don't define you. They don't diminish your worth or your potential. What matters is how you respond to those challenges. Do you let them break you down, or do you rise up, learn from them, and continue moving forward? Every time you choose to rise, every time you choose to keep going, you reinforce your belief in yourself. Another key aspect of inner strength is resilience, the ability to bounce back from adversity. Life will knock you down. There's no escaping that. But what defines you is not how many times you fall, but how many times you get back up. Resilience is what allows you to keep going, even when it feels like everything is working against you. It's the ability to adapt, to learn from your experiences, and to keep pushing forward, even when the road ahead is unclear. Resilience is built by facing adversity head on, by challenging yourself to move through the pain and discomfort, and by refusing to let failure dictate your future. It's easy to want to quit when things get hard. It's easy to want to throw in the towel and say, I've had enough, but resilience is the strength to keep going. Even when the path forward is uncertain, even when you don't know how things will turn out. It's the faith that no matter how many times you stumble, you have the ability to rise again, stronger and wiser than before. Building resilience also requires you to cultivate patience. We live in a world that is obsessed with instant gratification. We want things to happen quickly. We want results now, and we expect success to come easily. But the truth is, real growth takes time. Success takes time. Building inner strength takes time. It's a long journey, and there will be setbacks along the way. But if you can stay patient, if you can stay committed to the process, then you will eventually see the fruits of your labor. When you embrace patience and resilience, you develop a deeper sense of trust in yourself and in the process. You stop focusing on the destination and start appreciating the journey. You learn to find value in every step, even when the progress seems slow. And in doing so, you build not only your inner strength, but your character as well. Part of the process of building inner strength is also learning to let go of the things that hold you back. Too often we carry around baggage, negative beliefs, past failures, or toxic relationships that weighs us down and prevents us from moving forward. But to truly embrace your inner strength, you have to let go of those things that no longer serve you. You have to forgive yourself for past mistakes, forgive others who may have wronged you, and release the pain that holds you in place. When you let go of the past, you free yourself to move forward, to grow, and to step into your full potential. Letting go is not always easy, but it is essential for building inner strength. You cannot move forward if you are constantly looking behind you. The past is gone, and the only thing you can control is the present moment. So focus on what you can do today, and trust that the future will unfold as it's meant to. The more you let go of fear, doubt, and resentment, the more space you create for self-belief and inner strength to grow. A powerful aspect of inner strength is also the ability to stay grounded in the face of external pressure. Life is full of distractions, of people telling you what you should do, what you should want, and who you should be. It's easy to get caught up in the expectations of others, to live your life according to someone else's blueprint. But when you tap into your inner strength, you learn to block out the noise and stay true to yourself. You learn to trust your own instincts, to follow your own path, and to live life on your own terms. Living authentically requires self-awareness. It requires you to understand your values, your passions, and your purpose. When you know who you are and what you stand for, it becomes easier to make decisions that align with your true self. It becomes easier to say no to things that don't serve you and yes to things that bring you closer to your goals. Inner strength comes from knowing yourself deeply and having the courage to live in alignment with that truth. Finally, inner strength is about cultivating a sense of purpose. When you have a clear sense of why you're doing something, when you understand the deeper meaning behind your actions, it becomes much easier to stay focused, motivated, and resilient. Purpose gives you a reason to keep going even when things get tough. It provides the fuel to keep pushing forward, even when you don't feel like it. And when you combine purpose with self-belief, you become unstoppable. The world may throw challenges your way, but when you are grounded in your purpose and confident in your own abilities, you can face anything that comes your way. Inner strength and self-belief are the bedrock of a successful and fulfilling life. They are what give you the courage to take risks, to keep going when things get hard, and to trust that you are capable of more than you think. You have everything you need inside of you to succeed. The key is to believe in it, to embrace it, and to trust in the process. Because when you do, there is nothing that can stand in your way.